You are now watching But First Coffee. Cheryl Cooley is the heart and soul of Klymaxx, an original member and guitarist of Klymaxx, the first all-female funk R&B pop band. She continues to drop new music and detonate audiences into the joy of funk. Hi, welcome back to another episode of But First Coffee, and we have with us today Cheryl Cooley. If you remember, she is an iconic guitarist from the group Klymaxx. And then she has resurfaced on the scene doing music again. So, what made you come back to music is the big question most people would like to know.
Oh, God. Well, first of all, I really enjoy playing guitar, performing on stage. It's just really my passion. I like the energy. I like, interacting with the crowd, the music. But I didn't always do this. Before I even got in Klymaxx, I was in banking.
Okay.
And then
that's a big jump.
Right. And then, when the 90s came in and, music changed, Klymaxx had lost the recording contract. So I became an electrician.
Okay.
But it was all part of the path because being an electrician for, I don't know, about 18 years, I learned how to put together and build my own rehearsal room. So we have our own custom-made rehearsal room with a disco ball and a bar, a sound system, and we can rehearse any time of the day. So all of it is part of the same path. Sometimes it doesn't look like it's part of the path, but in the end, it just kind of all gels together.
Now, you were a guitarist for a long time. I'm suggesting you played before you were actually in the band. So what made you join the actual band?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. My parents had always given me a toy guitar every other Christmas. Mm-hmm. And the guitar was kind of always around me. And my sister, who's like 16 years older than I am, she was married to a jazz musician by the name of Hubert Laws. And he was touring with a jazz band. And he also had a guitar. And I was showing him I had a guitar too, and just kind of fiddling around with it, and it accidentally was tuned to a TV show. And my sister said, "Hey, let's get Cheryl some guitar lessons." And so I've been, playing guitar ever since I was 11, and I played in school, and as I went through high school and college, I played in different bands around the city. Okay. So I just really kind of, learned from that, from learning from school and learning from private lessons and learning from being in other bands. And, just one day I happened to be, playing with a band at a rehearsal hall. And these girls looked in the window and saw this girl playing guitar and ran in and said, "Hey, you don't want to play with this band. You want to play with our band. We have an all-female band called Klymaxx." So it happened.
So how was it going back to the stage? You say you love it, but of course 18 years has passed.
Yeah.
Or more before you've been in the actual, the touring is totally different. So what encouraged you to jump in and say, this is something I want to try again?
Well, on the realistic side, I couldn't find another electrical job to do. So I happened to get a phone call just out of the blue, and one of our old managers said, "Hey, Cheryl, if you put the band together again, we'll get you on some old school tours." And the reason why he called me is because I have the same telephone number since then.
Oh.
So doing that whole process and realizing how much music was so much a part of my being, I just jumped out there and got booked for shows and stuff. And yeah, it's a little different, but what's interesting is the audience has expanded. It's not just people in the 80s and 90s, but it's a whole nother younger generation that really is enjoying the Klymaxx legacy music, old school music. And that's really what is like, wow, this is awesome. It's exciting that there's all generations that really enjoy the music.
Now you started to do new music as well.
Oh yeah,
with this new band you put together. So how does that feel? How does that dynamic work? Is it different from when you were in the previous band, or do you have more creative control here?
Well, definitely have more creative control, but now that everything is digital, everything is so instantaneous and spot on in a sense. Where before, when you did the tape or the real tape, you had a lot more processes to go through, especially if you had to, what they call splice or patch things together.
Right.
It was a lot more work, a lot more, artistry, really, to be able to do that. But now with digital, you just kind of push a button, you slide things here and you slide things there. But actually being in the studio and performing, I am still old school that it has to be live instruments. I'm not really into the computerized music. It's really about us getting in there and actually playing our instruments. And that's what we were able to do with also using the digital recording process. So it worked out great.
That's good. Did you want to change the flow of the music? Because I know you have to do some of the older songs, but has the style of the music kind of changed, or are you looking to do something that's not so much in the funk era like you did previously?
I am into letting however the creative flows happen. I don't really like to stay stuck in anything, but yeah, there's always that, background of that type of music. So I think it kind of marries itself, but I always like to open the door for any type of creative flow to come in because you just never know. Creativity is so unlimited. You just have no idea what can actually come out on the tape there. To be able to create a new sound or a new song or a new groove. So I don't like to be a stickler so much, but just kind of open the door for more to come in.
Okay, so you learning to be a little flexible here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So when they brought you back in and said, "Hey, we want you to tour," did you think about wanting to tour under a different band name, or what was
No.
their thing with making you stay with Klymaxx?
Well, it's always been a part of my life. It's always been a part of my musical legacy. People still enjoy, Klymaxx music. They're very receptive at the shows. Once we play those songs and, you hear, oh, I remember when this was going on. But they're very receptive. They see me up on stage and, see the band interacting with the music and the audience. And it's a very good reception that we're getting from the audience. Just, the music itself speaks to the audience, the listening ear. It just brings it all together.
Okay. So, have you ever thought about playing anything different? You are playing the guitar. You love the guitar. But have you said, I need to learn this X, Y, and Z. I need to, step out of my comfort zone a little bit.
Back in the day when we were touring, I did also play bass on a couple of the songs in the live shows. So there's always that kind of guitar and bass are kind of similar. So what I know on guitar, I can kind of relate to the bass, but I've never wanted to play another instrument the same way I play guitar. It's just me and the guitar.
Said she's married to the guitar.
Exactly.
Now, have you ever thought about doing anything else in entertainment, acting, or you seem very animated? So I can see you going into other fields besides. I mean, you love music, but have you had a chance to do anything else besides music?
I haven't had the chance, but I'm open to the opportunity. Is that a big hint?
Yes. That works. Now I know you said the transition, you've seen things take a little bit shorter time than in the past, versus you having to do everything basically by hand. It was more of a hustle. What do you usually tell newer musicians that are coming in and thinking that this fame or this rise is instant? I'm sure they ask you like, how do you stay in the field so long? But they think, okay, I learned how to play an instrument, now I'm famous.
Well, it's not quite that simple, but the first thing, it sounds odd, but the very first thing I tell any upcoming artist, save money. Put some money aside. Pay yourself like you do church. Put 10% away somewhere you're not going to touch it. I'm serious because you're going to have to invest in yourself. You're going to have to pay for studio time. You're going to have to pay for costumes. You're going to have to pay, I don't know, transportation. You're going to have to pay for makeup. You're going to have to pay for production. There's always something to pay for.
Right.
Put some money aside so that, if as opposed to going to a $5 an hour studio, you can afford to go to a $10 an hour, which will make your sound better.
Okay.
Even after you get your recording done, still save money because there's going to be some down times and up times. And you've got to kind of balance yourself so that you can still have a roof over your head. You can still eat. You can still buy gas. I'm sorry. That is the first thing I tell. Put some money aside. Now, as far as the creativity part, learn as much as you can. Learn as much as you can about music, music theory, how to write music, how to perform music. If you're a vocalist, learn how to, even if you can't, what they call sight read, like look at a note and sing it exact pitch, at least kind of know the area so that, it's easier and faster when you go into a recording studio to put your song together, to record your song. Learn as much as you can about the music. Learn as much as you can about the business of music because it's changing every month.
Yes, every industry is rotating the same way. Yes. So that's why, I mean, I commend you for even wanting to jump back out there because, it's so hot and cold because things are changing so fast. So it's more competitive and harder to stay relevant. I think some newer musicians get discouraged, especially ones that want to still do live band. Do you have the honor of ever mentoring any other female bands? Because I haven't seen too many, even though it should be more common lately. I'm not sure why that is.
Yeah, well, even as of today, Klymaxx is the only R&B all-female band that has charted on billboards. We're still the only ones. I mean, that the actual artists, there's backup bands,
right.
Some of the artists have backup female bands, but the actual artist of a female band, Klymaxx is still the only one that has charted on billboards. And, being a female musician, there's a few more challenges, but that's why I say learn your craft so that, when you get challenged by those male musicians, you know your stuff. They put a piece of music in front of you. They're not going to expect you to be able to read it off like that. Be able to read it off. Be able to sing it just like it's written. Be able to, tell them what an interval is. What, how what notes are in a chord. If it's a major, minor, augmented, diminished chord. Know your craft so that nobody can challenge you and you just kind of fall flat on your face because you don't know. You got to learn all that you can about your art, your craft, your music. And so that when you do have those challenges, you're prepared. You're prepared to answer the question. Somebody say, well, what key are you playing? And especially for vocalists, what key are you playing your first song in? You say G minor. They're like, oh, I guess she kind of knows her stuff, But what key do you play your second song in? You're going, well, I don't know. The other guy, he just plays it for me. Then they're not going to respect you as much like, oh, well, she doesn't know what she's doing. Let's just do this. But when you know your stuff, when you know everything you need to know about your song, what key it is, what tempo it is, what chord structure is in it, what the lyrics are when you don't look at it. And that's a real thing because there's some major vocalists out there, it just happens. You get up there and you just got, I don't know, a moment of total forgetting everything and you just forget a whole verse.
Yeah. I mean, if you have to perform every night, I mean, you may just have a bad night and then that happens. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there's a song. I mean, I'll even admit the song that we play called "I Still Say Yes." I mean, the way the chord structure is on guitar, for me, if I miss one chord in that whole chord structure, I gotta wait till it comes back around. I don't know where I am. Let me get back to A somewhere. So there's some songs you just gotta know. You gotta be able to answer those questions about your own music. Yeah. Really?
That probably discourages some people from going and making it a career because it does seem like a lot. But I mean, I feel like it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it can be, but when you're doing it for enjoyment, you just want to absorb as much information as you can. Do it for enjoyment first. Don't do it because, I don't know, Uncle Sally or Uncle Sam or Uncle whoever, Boo Boo and them said you got to, get out there and sing a song so that you can do X, Y, and Z. Do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. Do it for what you feel inside first. And then it won't be so burdensome when you're trying to learn a new song or you're trying to write a new song. It's coming from within, and that will make it so much easier, more pleasant, and more flowing for it to come out.
Yeah, that's true. So take notes. Where do you see yourself? I mean, because you just said, okay, it's time to relive this. Do you see yourself ever going back? I know this is a weird question. To be an electrician. Since you've done it for so long.
point where if I have to do some electrical on my own house, I'm calling somebody and saying, look, I need you to do X, Y, and Z.
Hey, we have to ask because we're like, well, what did she decide to do? Oh, she just left it again. She just wants you to leave her alone. Okay. Okay. So we can expect to hear newer music from the band here. Now, how many females are in the new version of?
There's 6 of us. Yeah. Yeah. Guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, and I have 2 vocalists. Yeah. It's the same setup. Yeah.
Okay. And are you guys currently touring?
We just came back from Denver, so we're doing what they call spot dates. Anything is possible for the future. I mean, there's some talk about, actually doing a, multi-city tour. So, I mean, that's definitely a possibility, but we just got back. First, we did Pico Rivera week before last, and this last Saturday we were in Denver. So we're moving wherever we get booked. We're on the plane and we're going.
And I know this is this also, are the newer members adjusting to this flow? Because this is okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I've been, doing this whole researching thing for, actually 20 years as of the 2023. I've been doing this for 20 years. Okay. And, the girls that are on board with me, they're flowing right along with me. We're taking this train all the way.
So I usually ask each guest, do you have a quote that gets you through the day or a quote you can live by? So currently, what quote have you been reciting to?
Oh, gosh. Wow. I always ask myself, are you happy? Okay. If the answer is, I don't know how I feel, then I investigate what it is that I'm not happy about.
Okay.
And try to remedy that or try to figure out, well, just don't worry about it. It'll happen. Because sometimes we worry about things that I don't want to say we don't have any control of, but we worry about things that will take care of themselves. Right. And we lose a lot of mental energy, and focusing on, well, what if, and this and that, and putting all these scenarios that will not make any difference because it's going to work itself out.
Okay. Well, you seem very encouraged and motivated about it. We are happy that you decided to join the music circuit again. It's always good to see ladies on stage. Yeah. So I know you were like about the male artists.
That's a whole nother conversation. We'll have to be offline for that because I can tell you some stories.
Did you have one rivalry that was a guy guitarist? I just would like to know that kind of always try to challenge your ability.
Well, this is like not really on stage anyway. I was, I was supporting another musician. They were kind of having a jam session. I was there to support. I'm not trying to jump up on stage or whatever. We support each other. And so this guy from who knows where, he recognized me. He goes, you should get up there and play guitar. Okay, my ego said to him, but why? I already have my gold record. Sometimes you just gotta cut them off at the bottom. I mean, cut them off.
Right, I get it. I get it. Tell them, do not challenge you again. That's the answer they're gonna get. Yes.
I'm not gonna intrude on somebody else's gig. I'm there to support them. And somebody coming over and say, "Oh, you should do it." Why? It's their gig. I already got mine. Let them have theirs. And what about getting your own?
Awesome. We are looking forward to hearing more from you. Name your lead singers that you have now so we can kind of follow them as well.
Okay, yeah. The lead vocalist I have now, her name is Christy Malone. Okay. And all of us right now, we're all residing in Los Angeles. Okay. On bass, I have Megan Stein. And then on keys, Maggie Daniek. On second vocalist is Daniel Burton, and on drums is Tramisha Bond, and then me on guitar.
So ladies are ruling the world again. So thank you. So glad we got a chance to chat with you. Looking forward to seeing more of you. Good luck. We do not want you to do be an electrician again. So you guys, if you see her out in your city, make sure you buy a ticket, go to their shows, support, check out the new music as well. That should be coming soon. Thank you so much, Miss Cooley.
Yeah, check out.
Pleasure meeting you as well.
All right, thanks so much.